Namaste students, my name is JVN's Dr. Neeraj Dhulia, Faculty of Agriculture and Veterinary Science, Jyoti Vidyapeeth, Women's University, Jaipur. So the topic of discussion of today is AFLP, that is Amplified Fragment Length Polymorphism, and this belongs to the subject microbial genomics. So in the previous lectures, we have discussed various uh, uh, molecular markers techniques, like we have studied about the RFLP, we have studied about the RAPD, we have studied the SSLP. Okay, so in continuation, this is again a molecular marker method, AFLP, that is amplified fragment length polymorphism. So uh, starting with the brief history, that the scientists Jebo and Voss invented the AFLP technique in 1993, but this was originally developed by the Keijin in 1990. Okay, so it is a PCR based method for fingerprinting, and it compiles the processes of PCR and RFLP. So the basis of AFLP is the amplification of selected fragments followed by the restriction digestion of whole genomic DNA of the specific organism. So this was the principle. So first you amplify the selected fragment, then you digest, and then you digestion, after digestion of whole genomic DNA of specific organism, you detect them. So the steps which are followed in the AFLP are first of all the extraction of the DNA, and then you select some restriction endonucleases, and using the selected RE enzymes, you digest. After you ligate the adapter sequences in the digested uh, fragments of the genes. So this is unique in the all other from the all other methods. uh, you use the adapters only here, short adapter. So using the adapter eliminates the requirement of the specified primers. Okay, so you do not need to know the sequences of the DNA, so you can utilize these techniques on the unknown sequences also. So this is the one plus point, that the uh, you do not need to know the sequences of your template DNA. So after the amplification of restriction, first you isolated the DNA, then you digested it with the restriction endonucleases, then you added the short adapter sequences at the flanking ends of the digested DNAs. Then you amplification of the restricted fragments by the PCR. So here the polymerase chain reaction occurs, and after the PCR completion of the PCR cycles, you analyze the results using the gel electrophoresis, or no, say the polyacrylamide gel electrophoresis, and finally you detect the signals using the autoradiography. Okay, so this was the basic of the AFLP. Now what are the applications? Okay, so AFLP has the ability for rapid generation of the marker fragments, and for any organism without prior sequencing of the DNA. So as I told earlier, you do not require to know the sequencing of your template DNA. Okay, so here also it needs only small fragments of starting template DNA relative to the RAPD and relative to the ISSR, that is inter-simple sequence repeats, and it have the much better reproducibility in its results. Okay. So again, AFLP is largely used for if we talk about the application purposes. So it is utilized in the crop improvement programs and parentage and the genomic interpretation of various crop species. Okay. So one demerit is that the AFLP require large DNA samples and require the purification. So when you isolate the DNA, you have to have the sufficient amount of DNA sample. Means you should take the initial raw material greater. If you are taking the plant material, then you have to take a sufficient amount of plant parts. If you are taking the microbe, then you have to start with the sufficient amount of biomass. Okay, so sufficient amount of DNA sample is required and require the purification. Means your quality of the isolated DNA should be much better for the good results from the AFLP. Okay, so we can explain, we can understand the AFLP using an example. So say is you have to um, know the AFLP marker for one plant species known as the A plant. Okay, then you collect the leaves or any part of the A plant, then digest, then isolate the DNA isolation will be performed. Digest the sample DNA with the restriction enzymes, say for example EcoR1 and second is the MSC1. Okay, so you have chosen two different restriction enzymes, EcoR1 and MSC1. Then anneal the EcoR1 and MSC1 adapters to the restriction products. Okay, first you perform the restriction digestion with the EcoR1 MSC1. Then to the this fragmented products, because the flanking ends are there, so you have you added some adapter molecules at the cutting ends of. So pre-select the products by PCR amplification with EcoR1 plus A. A means adenosine, and MSE1C, that is C means the cytosine, oligonucleotide primer. So now the separate fragments by denaturing the polyacrylamide gel electrophoresis. Now PCR will be there. Okay, after adding the adapter sequences, the you added the PCR mixture like the buffer required and the other salts and organic inorganic materials which is required for the PCR reaction. You have added to that and you put it in the PCR machine, or you can say in the thermocycle. You set the temperature and number of the cycle in the PCR machine and leave it for the PCR reaction. So after the PCR reaction, you collect the product of the PCR. Okay, and then the fragments which are generated, or the product which is amplified through PCR, you prepared a gel, the polyacrylamide gel, which is generally performed for the nucleic acid material like the DNA or RNA. So you prepared a gel of it. The gel should be from 5 to 15%. Generally it is 12% if the length of the product is not known, but here you are aware about the product, so you can make the percentage of gel accordingly. Okay, so the if the product size is larger, then you have to prepare the lower percentage of the polyacrylamide gel, say like 8% or 10%. Okay, and if the product size is less, then you have to make the polyacrylamide gel of the higher percentage. So the acrylamide gel is prepared and you put the sample on the wells and you start the electrophoresis. Then when the electrophoresis is completed, so how you know that the electrophoresis process is completed? So you put a dye in the sample. The sample dye is so the sample dye is very lighter in comparison to your sample. So it runs in the initial in the front side. So first the dye will reach to the bottom of the your electrophoresis gel. So when the sample dye is reached to the bottom, so you know that your electrophoresis is completed. Okay. So then when the electrophoresis dye is reached to the bottom, you switched off the electrophoresis unit, current supply is stopped, and you isolate it. You transfer the products onto the solid support like the nitrocellulose membrane or the PVDF membrane, which are more stable than the gel. Okay, so then you detect it using any detection method like the autoradiography or any other thing. Okay, or you can visualize the um, bands on the gel itself using by performing the staining methods. So what are the advantages of the AFLP? So advantage is that fingerprinting technique replacing the RFLP. It is a highly polymorphic. It is highly reproducibility. It having the high reproducibility and identify through absence or presence of fragment. Okay. Then characters can be increased by changing the restriction endonuclease and the nucleotide at the selective primers. So you can change the restriction endonucleases. You can change the nucleotide which are attached to the primers or for as a primer. Okay, so this was all about the AFLP. So hope you are satisfied with this detailed session, and if you have any query you can write in the comment box. I will reply and resolve your query or doubt. And this session is powered by Digital Version 2, Jyoti Vidyapeeth Women's University Jaipur. Thank you.